at the World Travel Market. We would also like to warmly thank the South Aegean region for their warm support and for being under their auspices throughout this initiative that we've started. The island of Santorini is located in the southern Aegean in what is today known as the Cycladic Archipelago. The Santorini Archipelago Islands are the remnants of an originally ring-shaped island. The region is characterized by its tectonic activity and is located in a geographically advantageous location as a crossroad in the Aegean Sea. The island is composed of a core of metamorphosed sediments and complex volcanic deposits. Santorini is considered by geologists to be a huge volcanological museum, which is ideal for observing the development of a classic volcano. The geological formations have created landscapes of incredible natural beauty. The island has attracted interest for centuries due to the distinctive morphology. Santorini is well known for its characteristic minimalist architecture. This has been in part dictated by the living circumstances as well as the geomorphological factors. The influence of trade and the presence of the Venetians have also played a key role in creating unique urban landscapes. The medieval settlements of Santorini, even today, form the main focal points, and their fortified structures attract hundreds of visitors. The unique historical monuments of Santorini are interlinked with the volcanic character of the island. The island has suffered through several natural and economic hardships that have molded the island over time. The distinctive architecture and the rise of tourism have created an interest in redefining structures in the urban centers. It forms one of the most popular destinations for cruises in the Mediterranean, with several hundreds of thousands of visitors exploring the island on a daily basis. The island over the last 3 decades has seen an immense increase in visitors and the creation of a large number of hotels, restaurants, and other businesses related to the tourism industry. The 300-meter-high balcony-like formation of the caldera of Santorini has helped in creating the reputation that from Santorini you can see some of the most spectacular sunsets. As this recent image indicates, Photoshop and filters are not necessary when it comes to the Santorini sunset. Visitors are particularly drawn to the specific experience and this unique vantage point of the Aegean Sea. But Santorini is so much more than just an amazing view or a beautiful building on the edge of the cliff. It is important to emphasize that visitors may come to a Greek island once for the sea and the sun. The travelers will only come back to this location if you can offer them an incredible experience. This alternative Santorini is what creates a unique experience. The immense wealth in culture and history combined with a unique geological setting and the local gastronomy. The islands of Santorini Island Group, which encompass Thera, Therasia, Aspronissi, Palea, and Nea Kameni, are in a horseshoe formation or a caldera, which were created by a huge volcanic eruption 3,600 years ago. The volcanic activity, of course, in the region of Santorini dates back to over 2 million years. The first inhabitants of the island arrived along the southern coast in the middle of the 5th millennium BC, some 6,500 years ago. They were attracted to the island because of the location and its proximity to the other islands, as well as the safe harbors. Santorini is the southernmost island of the Cycladic Archipelago and is located in a key geographical position connecting the Aegean with the island of Crete. A tremendous volcanic eruption towards the end of the 17th century BC buried the entire island under thick deposits of ejecta, often exceeding 60 meters in thickness. The volcanic ash has preserved in situ evidence for an entire culture and a geobotanical system. Among the Bronze Age sites, the most important was Akrotiri on the southern coast of the island. The progress of the excavation has demonstrated that by the time of its burial, the settlement had developed into an urban center as well as an important commercial port for maritime trade, involving almost the entire Eastern Mediterranean. Thanks to their burial under the volcanic ash, the buildings of the late Bronze Age city are preserved to a considerable height, 2 or 3 stories, despite the fact that they were damaged by an earthquake which preceded the eruption. Large multi-storied houses with sophisticated hygienic facilities, while they're richly furnished with household equipment and exquisite pieces of furniture. That bears witness to the high standard of living of the late Bronze Age Theran society. The buildings of the last phase of the city's life were decorated with magnificent wall paintings depicting scenes of daily life and reflecting the ideology of Akrotiri society. Many of the frescoes depict landscape scenes and a large variety of plants. The frescoes depict lush wetland areas with palm trees and reeds, along with streams. Recent evidence indicates that the prehistoric landscape of Santorini was significantly more subtropical, just as it is depicted in the frescoes. This is a striking difference, of course, to the modern arid landscape. The frescoes are also particularly significant as they depict what the local inhabitants viewed as important about their landscape and environment, as well as the urban interactions. The standard conditions of temperature and the humidity prevailing deep under the ruins of the buried city protected the decomposition of all sorts of organic materials, including food, artifacts such as fishing equipment, baskets, textiles, etc. The interaction with the environment and the importance of prehistoric gastronomy is evident both iconographically as well as through the material finds. It is certainly impressive to find actual fish buried along with the nets and hooks used by the prehistoric inhabitants. What makes this even more impressive is that the modern fishermen describe how they use exactly the same style of nets 3,600 years later in the same location. Macrobotanical remains of crop plants such as barley, lentil, common pea, and wheat have been identified, indicating what kind of plants were cultivated by the local population. Even though we don't have recipes they used, based on the evidence we can infer specific aspects of their daily meals. Also recorded at Akrotiri are olive stones and charred remains of vines and figs. Winemaking formed an important part of prehistoric economic and social life, while it is depicted on several ceramic vessels, as well as inscribed on linear A on a large pithos. Depicting nature scenes and human interaction with the urban and rural landscapes is also evident on ceramics. The middle cycladic jug depicting in a very hospitable scene of wine pouring formed an inspiration for the creation of the Year of Gastronomy in Santorini. The municipality of Thera declared 2013 as the Year of Gastronomy in Santorini. Throughout the year, fine dining restaurants, hotels, local shops, and traditional tavernas have created specially designed menus, wine tasting, feasts, and art exhibitions to celebrate how Santorini's gastronomy has touched all aspects of its culture, both ancient and modern. In recent years, competition within the islands has pushed the standards of gastronomy in Santorini ever higher, so that today it is a fine dining hub as well as an exemplar for the use of local produce. But the roots for this culinary experience have come from its microclimate and the unusual nature of the soil. While there's a basis of fertile volcanic soil, it is thin due to the high daytime temperatures. Together with humid nights, the microclimate has resulted in indigenous plants that produce fruit, vegetables, and wine with unique and concentrated flavors. Santorini is one of the few Greek destinations that attracted scholarly interest from early on. Geologists and botanists recorded its distinctive soil and plants. British botanist J. Harris recorded the volcanic activity along with the peculiar local fruits and vegetables that are still evident today. Santorini's local produce include fava, a yellow split pea with a particularly high protein content. What is remarkable is that the specific legume is the same species as the one identified in prehistoric Akrotiri. It is only found in Santorini and has a very rich and sweet taste. Wild caper is a shrub that grows in the steep slopes of Santorini and on walls throughout the island. The capers are collected along with the flowers and leaves and have a sharp aroma and spicy taste. The white aubergine differs in that it's sweeter and juicier, attributes believed to be a result of the volcanic soil and the specific species. The small borderless Santorini tomatoes form the significant part of the local economy. They have a small size and thicker skin and grow in the dry volcanic soil. The tomatai creates a fantastically rich tomato paste, while the tomatoes are also canned whole. Apart from salads, these tomatoes are used to make spoon sweets and tomato fritters, while chefs adore creating many other recipes with them. The experience of